It is the changing of the guard for my Gators, albeit maybe just for a week or so, and it's because of injury. But prize freshman DJ Lagway will make the first start of his career as Graham Mertz is still in the concussion protocol. Lagway saw game time last week against Miami and even led the Gators to a touchdown. Unfortunately, we did get beat handily by the Hurricanes. The program, we are down bad right now, but maybe a sense of excitement can come along with DJ Lagway getting extended play. You see the numbers of how he led things out. Did have an interception. A lot of pressure came his way when he threw that, but completed 3 of his 6 passes, got it done with his feet and with his arm as well, and we'll see how things can play in the Swamp against a lower level Samford coming up here on Saturday in the Swamp. To help get us even more ready for this game, we're now bringing Andrew Ivins. And Andrew, of course, I'm just excited for a chance to see something that maybe can give us a glimpse of hope for Gator Nation moving forward. But what do you think we can expect to see from Lagway on Saturday against Samford?
Well, he's an extremely gifted quarterback. I thought DJ Lagway had the best senior season out of anyone in America last year. That's why he finished as our #1 ranked quarterback, and that's why he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. When you look at him, he kind of looks like a linebacker, 6'2", 225 pounds. He's a multi-sport kid. He actually had an offer to pitch at Houston as a freshman before he turned his focus to football. He can dial up the RPMs, and the big thing throughout the evaluation process with DJ Lagway is he needed to improve as a passer, and we saw that in his senior season. This is a kid that was 10-10 in high school. As a senior, he improves in every key statistical category, leads his team to its best record in over 60 years, and he sets the Texas 6A record with 59 touchdown passes. So he's a guy where the arrow is pointing up. You mentioned he got his feet wet against Miami. From what I heard, the Gators were planning to play DJ regardless of what happened in the game. He had about 10 to 12 plays ready to go. So this is a kid that Billy Napier and the Gators have believed in for a while now.
I was at the game last weekend against Miami, so saw when he came in, and you could see just a little bit of a difference between him and Mertz and how fast Lagway was getting the ball out and just able to maybe give some type of spark to the offense that really had nothing going at all against the Hurricanes. You look for maybe a pro comparison. Who would you say is that comp for Lagway?
Well, Zach, you and I think the rest of Gator Nation are going to like this one. He reminds us of Anthony Richardson. That was the comp coming out of high school. I talked about the size. Both of those individuals, big dudes, but what they can do is they can beat defenses with both their arm and their legs. Lagway, a dangerous scrambler. He can power through defenders and break tackles, but he's also effective on design runs as well. If you want to get some RPOs going, you mentioned DJ gets the ball out fast. He can do that. I think for Florida, one of their biggest issues is that offensive line. You know, Billy Napier, I was at a coaching clinic back in February. He told a room full of 200 high school coaches that he felt like his program finally had some offensive tackles. I looked down at the roster. I was kind of confused by what he meant. Turns out I was right. We saw it against Miami. They had their way at the point of attack. So I think the biggest thing that DJ Lagway is going to bring to the table is he's able to create and escape from pressure. And that's something that the Gators had with Anthony Richardson, someone that can extend and make plays on the run. So that's the player comp for him. I also think, there's a little Cam Ward to DJ Lagway's game. And obviously, DJ Lagway's not going to be as comfortable as the Miami quarterback who had his way in the Swamp, but he's a guy that can also change the arm angles, and he can rip it down the field. I've seen DJ Lagway hit passes 40, 50 yards. And the other thing that stands out, Cam Ward and DJ Lagway, both from Texas, both trained with the same guy back home.
I think that the part that you brought up about Billy Napier talking to a crowd full of people, and that seemed like kind of what he was doing all year long, is pumping up the Gators, saying that we were going to be good this year. We certainly were not good last week. The videos out there circulating with Miami recruits telling Florida recruits, hey, don't go there, and all those things. Recruits are always watching. What do you think a move like this, even if it's just for a week that he starts, means to someone who's committed like Vernell Brown III, the wide receiver, and other people who might just have the eyes on the Florida program with all the attention that Napier's been getting?
Well, here's the reality. I mean, Billy Napier and Florida have lost 6 straight. That is the longest active losing streak for Power 4 programs, and it hasn't really been exciting. So I think the bigger question is, what happens if DJ Lagway looks the part against Samford on Saturday? What if he goes out and accumulates 400 yards of total offense and scores a bunch of touchdowns? I think that's going to create a scenario where Florida, the following week, they host Texas A&M. What does Billy Napier do? Let's assume Graham Mertz is finally healthy. Does he go with Graham Mertz or does he go with DJ Lagway? I think that's a big question, and I don't get paid to make these decisions, but I think you can make the case for DJ Lagway because of everything we've talked about. He's a dual threat athlete. He's someone that can get away from the pressure. Your offensive line is not great. And DJ Lagway, he might not be able to win you every game, but I think he's going to give you some opportunities and some chances that, hey, maybe Graham Mertz, who is a very, very good quarterback in his own sense, can't do. The other thing with DJ Lagway, he's a very polarizing prospect. This is a kid that was on the camp circuit. He was on the 7-on-7 circuit. You mentioned Vernell Brown, some of those other recruits that were in the swamp this past weekend. They all know who DJ Lagway is. Heck, he's in a Gatorade commercial. So if they see DJ Lagway having success, I think it makes it much easier for Billy Napier to sell the future of the program. Hey, we got our quarterback. We're turning things around. We need some more talent. So we'll see what happens. I think the big question, though, is if DJ Lagway has success this Saturday, what happens the following week against the Aggies?
Yeah, we know how tough that schedule is. It will not let up after Samford, and just any sense of hope is what we are wishing for with Gator Nation because we are not feeling too good right now. Andrew Ivins, thank you so much for tapping in with us as we get ready to see DJ Lagway out there in the swamp getting the start. 24/7 Sports always has you covered with wall-to-wall team coverage. You can find out who maybe the next DJ Lagway is coming up, looking at recruiting rankings and also transfer portal. If your school needs to bring in some new talent, go ahead and lock in with them to get all your fixes.